Checkpoint 156 to 551 exam practice questions with explanations are available in the video for you to study. In a checkpoint VSX environment, what is the primary functional difference between a virtual router and a virtual switch? A. Routers are physical, switches are virtual. B. A virtual router works at layer 3, while a virtual switch works at layer 2. C. Virtual switches enforce policies, routers do not. D. Virtual switches are only managed through Smart View Monitor. The answer is B. A virtual router forwards traffic between networks at layer 3, IP level. A virtual switch connects systems within the same broadcast domain at layer 2, Ethernet level. Policies are enforced by the virtual systems, not by the virtual router, switch themselves. Which two tools can be used to manage VSX objects in a checkpoint VSX environment? Choose two. A. Smart View Tracker. B. Smart Console. C. VSX Provisioning Tool. D. Gaia Portal. The answer is B. C. Smart Console is the main GUI for creating and managing VSX objects. VSX Provisioning Tool, CLI, allows automated and script-based provisioning of VSX objects. Smart View Tracker is used for logging, monitoring, not management. Gaia Portal is for system administration, not VSX object provisioning. In a VSX environment, what is the primary role of the security management server? A. Acts as a virtual router. B. Stores and manages firewall policies for virtual systems, VSs. C. Stores log data only. D. Forwards network traffic. The answer is B. The security management server manages the configuration and policies of all virtual systems in VSX. It does not forward traffic, that's the VSX gateway's job. It is also not just for logging. Logs go to a log server, Smart Event. In a VSX environment, which statement correctly describes how traffic flows between virtual systems, VSs? A. All VSs share one IP stack. B. Traffic between VSs must always pass through external interfaces. C. Virtual switches or virtual routers handle internal VS to VS traffic. DVS0 is responsible for routing traffic between VSs. The answer is C. Each VSS has its own IP stack, so option A is wrong. Traffic between VSs doesn't need to exit via external interfaces. It can flow internally via a virtual switch or router. VS0 is the management, control VS, not a data plane router. When creating a new virtual system, VS, in a VSX environment, which two components are mandatory? Choose two. A. External interface. B. Dedicated routing engine. C. Policy package. D. Connection to a virtual switch or virtual router. The answer is CD. Every virtual system requires a policy package, security rules to enforce. It must also be connected to a virtual switch or router so traffic can flow. An external interface is optional, depends on design. A dedicated routing engine is not required. VSs use the VSX gateway's routing. In a VSX environment, what is the purpose of the VSX_util reconfigure command? A. Reset all VS IDs. B. Update or modify the topology of existing virtual systems, VSs. C. Push policy packages from Smart Console. D. Collect traffic statistics. The answer is B. VSX_util reconfigure is used when network topology changes, interfaces, VLANs, routing, need to be synchronized from the management server to the VSX gateway. It does not reset VSIDs, they remain fixed. Policy pushes come from Smart Console, not this command. Traffic statistics are gathered by monitoring tools, not this utility. What is the primary advantage of using VSX in a service provider environment? A. Easier firmware upgrades. B. Centralized licensing. C. Multi-tenant network segmentation with independent policies. D. No management interface required. The answer is C. VSX allows service providers to host multiple customers, tenants, on the same physical hardware. Each tenant gets its own virtual system with separate security policies and routing, ensuring isolation. Firmware upgrades and licensing are not the main advantage. A management interface is always required. By default, how is routing handled between virtual systems, VSs, in a VSX environment? A. It requires an external physical switch. B. It is routed internally through a virtual router. C. It is managed directly by VS0. D. It uses broadcast-based forwarding. The answer is B. Inter-VS routing is done internally via a virtual router, or virtual switch if Layer 2 connectivity is needed. No external switch is required, option A. VS0 is only for management, control, not for traffic forwarding. VSX does not use broadcast-based forwarding. How is high availability, HA, usually implemented in a VSX environment? Choose 2. A. By running Cluster XL in VSX mode. B. By configuring VRRP on each virtual system. C. By synchronizing the VSX gateways. D. By performing manual failover through CLI. The answer is AC. Cluster XL in VSX mode is the standard HA method, ensuring active, standby or load sharing across gateways. Synchronization of the VSX gateways ensures consistent session tables and configuration. VRRP is not used per VS in VSX. Cluster XL handles redundancy at the gateway level. Manual failover is possible but not a typical HA design. In a VSX environment, what occurs when a virtual system, VS, is deleted? A. Its policies are retained. B. Its interfaces remain assigned to the VSX gateway. C. All objects and routes associated with the VS are removed from the VSX gateway. D. All logs related to the VS are automatically deleted. The answer is C. Deleting a virtual system removes its configuration from the VSX gateway, including objects and routing. Policies are deleted, not retained. Interfaces are freed, not retained for the deleted verses. Logs remain in the log server unless manually deleted. They are not automatically removed.